Hello everybody, Eric here. Long time no see. Move that little piece of fuzz out of the way. Alright. Now, last couple of Japan crates that I've got, I had taken video of, but, there's always a but. Unfortunately, had a bit of audio problems, which hopefully I fixed this time. Also, because I'm all about actually making sure that folks know what's up and not to be like lying to you. I did peek in this. This is not an actual fresh opening like, oh my god, this is the awesome stuff. No. I peeked. Mostly because, as I fixed some of the other toys that came with the old Japan crates, yeah, I wanted to make sure that I could actually attempt to pronounce things this time, because it'd be nice to, be able to pronounce things properly and not feel like a complete and utter fool. Right? Anywho, on with the unboxing. Oh, come on. Pop that right there. Yes. Advantage of having this little black part right here behind the chip star container with pencils and pens is a Keurig, and I got some stuff on top of it, and thankfully the stuff on top of it is holding this box quite nicely. I didn't even plan that one. Alright, so we have volume 17. Now, I guess the Japan crate theme for this for November is Japan throwbacks. And although incredibly tiny, there is a good chance that you might actually recognize some of these when I do them out, because a couple of these things have, well, the box is filled with, I'm guessing, a bunch of previous stuff. I don't know, because, well, I haven't had Japan crate for that long, and as good as it is, yeah, I missed a couple. So, without further ado, let's get on with the stuff that I actually brought a cup of coffee for. Bam! We have the Umai Sugar Rusk. These are, according to the little pamphlet, these are twice-baked baguette pieces coated in sugar and butter. Let's see, these, like the company behind Umaibo created their own version using corn puffs. So now it said sugar and butter, so I'm gonna guess if these are sugar flavored, I'm kind of hoping that they taste like corn pops, because honestly, I'm a big cereal fan. So I'm kind of hoping that these are like a nice cereal flavor, and I might just bust into these before this thing is done, because I don't want my coffee getting cold and then trying these out. Because honestly, as soon as I open this box, besides the fact that we have, I can't remember the character's name, but besides the fact that we've got a nice, colorful, fictional, not quite cat, robot, also gray for some reason, character on here playing soccer, it just looks good. It just looks really, really good. Next thing up, we have Bugles. Oh. You don't want to stay up. Okay, let's just put the thing right there for the moment. It says it is called a House Tongari Cone Asari Shio flavor. Cone-shaped chips are great because you can wear them on your fingers and pretend they're claws before you eat them. Makes sense. Kind of what I used to do as a kid with Bugles. But yeah, that's like straight up, that's what they are, man. So if in America we have a product called Bugles, and they are effectively little corn cone things like this, and one of the things that I used to do when I was in high school was, if I was eating them, I'd get bored, put on my finger, and sit there going like a monster. Because hey, study hall. What are you gonna do? Plus, you know, I draw comic books and stuff like that. Was there any doubt that I would have something weird like that in my past? Let's see. It says they come in asari shio or lightly salted flavor. Those should be interesting to try. I'm going to place those down there because they keep falling down. Oh, we got Spotsubu. Thankfully, this actually has English on the package. Sports drink flavored chewing candy. Now the package, the little book says that it has potassium, sodium, and citric acid in the convenience of a chewy candy. Kind of like a sports drink. Now, again, when I was growing up, we had... Now, I don't know about the new stuff, because I know they've been putting out a lot of extra things recently. But the Gatorade company had Gatorade Chews and Gatorade Gum. That tasted just like Gatorade. It had, I believe, some electrolytes in it. But for the most part, it really didn't help beyond just being something to chew while you were out and about. Because, usually hit the Gatorade instead of going for some chewy thing, go for something to drink over candy. But these seem like they have a little bit more going for them. And I'm kind of curious because in the book it mentions that sports drinks in Japan aren't as sweet as the ones in the US. So I'm kind of curious if this is going to be more along the lines of a more tart. I mean, it says citric acid, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's going to be some sort of a lemon lime, possibly an orange style flavor. I wonder if it's going to be a tart version as opposed to the kind of overly sweet Gatorade stuff that we have here in the States. Now, even though there's more cool stuff on this side, this I really want to try after reading the book. Whoop. Big Thunder 3. In the book, there's even a thing on the stuff that I never got. There we go. There's a little thing on the Big Thunder Company. So, what we have here is Big Thunder 3, their latest candy bar. Apparently, according to the lovely little thing, this company was started in '94, or at least the Black Thunder candy bar was created in '94, and it sold for 30 yen. So that's a 30-cent candy. That's if it was this big all the time, it's great. From the picture on the package, it looks an awful lot like it's going to be something akin to a cookies and cream style candy bar, only without it being a white chocolate, but instead a dark chocolate. And I'm big on like crunch bars and cookies and like the ones with little candy pieces or cookie pieces in it. It gives a nice, interesting texture to stuff. So this looks good. This looks good. Let's see the yeah, that's pretty much what the book said too. First, I didn't read the little description right here about it because they had a whole story on it. Now, for the fun stuff. Saku Saku Panda Cookies. These were good. These were really good. It's a nice biscuit. Like a very nice cook. Come on, stay up. Very nice little cookie. Really smooth chocolate. Highly addictive. Highly addictive. Like many things from Japan, from the Japan crates, highly addictive. We got. Sweet and sour strawberry flavored gummies. So this sweet strawberry gummy is coated in sour candy and gives a nice balance of sour and sweet. One thing I have noticed when it comes to candy from Japan, a lot of them tend to have a nice, proper sweetness flavor to them. They don't taste like you're eating refined sugar. They have a nice sweetness of fruit juice. So I'm kind of curious about this because strawberries are generally a tart fruit from all the strawberries that I used to inhale as a kid. Plus, their sour candies, I don't know if it's because I grew up with Warheads and tearjerkers. These candies that were just dipped in, I believe, citric acid, like little citric acid crystals. So it's like super concentrated, almost unbearably tart taste, and I used to love them. So I'm kind of wondering if this will be like that. I know that they had a while back. I believe it was one of the successful videos on this channel. They had a really cool tart. It was almost like a tearjerker or a super sour tearjerker hard candy, and it was lemon, and it was great. But it wasn't that sour, but it was great. So I'm really kind of hoping that this will have that same kind of a nice flavor, because yeah, after you've ruined your taste buds with stuff like old school Warheads and super sour tearjerkers, sourness takes on a whole new thing, and a lot of things aren't really that sour, and you never want to taste that kind of sour again. Speaking of sour, we have the chewing straw green apple flavored little candy straws. So kind of like Twizzlers. Sour straws are a fan favorite, and these come in tart green apple flavor. Chew is a sound effect for kissing or puckering, so the name chewing is quite clever. Which, yeah, I'll give him that. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Now, we've got, I still have these on my desk. I have the molds on my desk. This was cool. This was a really fun one. I love the DIY candies, and this one was a good DIY candy. We have, let's see if I can read off the description, the Waku Waku Zoo Animal DIY. Combining yummy soft candy and lollipops, Waku Waku lets you create cute animal-shaped lollipops. With 2 flavors, lemon and strawberry, you can create adorable animal shapes using the mold. Or you can do like me and save out the mold and just eat the taffy. Because that's kind of what I ended up doing. One night I cracked it open and I didn't feel, it was like 4 in the morning, I was doing some work and I just felt like eating some candy and ended up eating the taffy instead of doing the whole molding thing while I was working on a comic. Now we have for the big bag. As you'll notice that, you may notice there's no chips so far. The Bugles were effectively the potato chips for this year. Blah. God, no. For this box. The big one is these. Now these are Funwashi Choco Monaku. Yeah, I probably killed that. Anyway, airy chocolate encased in a wafer shell offers a nice crunch with a smooth and melty finish. This texture of chocolate is very unique and is common in Japan. Now, from the picture here, I'm wondering if it's going to be like one of the other products where it was almost like this crazy, crazy melt in your mouth, super soft, super smooth chocolate. And it was fantastic. Perfect flavor and a really just kind of unique type of airy chocolate. in the US, we've tried the whole Airy chocolate bar thing, which people kind of railed against because they were selling the Airy chocolate for the same amount as the regular chocolate bar, and it really did feel like it was full of air, even though it was the same solid it was a Hershey bar, and it was the same solid Hershey bar chocolate, only with air pumped into it, and didn't have the same nice smooth effect to it. It kind of ended up tasting like you were eating a foam-filled Hershey bar. Not very appetizing. These, on the other hand, they get it right. The folks over in Japan, they got this right. This is actually fantastic, and I can't wait to try the whole the wafer around it. Should give it a very kind of a nice bit of crunch to it. Now, bam, we got some Pocky. Brazilian orange. According to the book, as part of promotions for the 2016 Rio Olympics, Pocky introduced a new limited edition flavor, Brazilian orange Pocky. Creamy white chocolate goes well with the fragrant orange. So, I've mentioned before, there are two things that I'm a big fan of when it comes to stuff that tends to be fairly unique from Japan that I can actually get here. One of them is Pocky, the other one being the really cool flavored Kit Kats, not only the basics that we have here. I like orange. I like Pocky. This is definitely on my list of things to try. This, part of me is kind of hoping that these might be individually wrapped, because I know that there's people in my house that might dig this type of stuff. This is one of the best reasons for me to get Japan Crate, because look at all this food. My nephews go nuts for some of this stuff. This is perfect for sharing. Now, my ma likes Twizzlers. I don't know if she'll enjoy these. Definitely going to try these out later. Definitely trying the Sportsubu out later. This is most likely getting eaten tonight. These probably getting eaten at some point in time tonight too, because I'm not going to lie. This I want to try. These are going back in the box. Also, props to the folks at Japan Crate. I love when the box is practically busting open, but honestly, seeing it as a fan of Tetris, I love seeing it so beautifully packed. It's fantastic. I don't have to worry about cracking it open and getting popped to the nose by the lid coming off, yet still seeing just so much awesome stuff in this. This is totally worth it. Bugles go bye-bye, and this gets cracked open because I am definitely trying this out. And we'll go for the scissors. Let's do it nice and neat, that way I can close it up later so they don't go stale. I know, kind of a terrible thing, but I've had actually some really bad experiences where I go to crack this open and it goes down, crack bags like this open, it goes down the side. Alright, let's try this. Let's try this. Oh, that smells like popcorn. It tastes like popcorn. Like a light sweetness to it. A bit of butter. Sorry for eating on camera. This was worth it. Okay, maybe. Nah, I'll just keep banging out on this. Also, the advantage of doing this video, after in between lunch and dinner, is that's actually a really nice snack. This I'm gonna if it makes it down. If I don't eat them all before I go down to talk with other people in my house, This is definitely going to be loved by some folks in the house. They are definitely going to dig this. Seriously, excellent crate. A nice little throwback. I love seeing Pocky. I love these little panda snacks. These were really cool. I dug them. My nephews dug them because they're nice and small, and they can eat them while they're rocking out on the computers. The little taffy that I can form into critters. One of the great things about that mold is, since it's a 2-part mold, I can put the 2 parts together and I can put other candy into it. So I save stuff like that. A while ago, I think it was one of the first, I think it was like the first one that I got. There was a thing for you to put like little chocolate dots in, and you can put them in different colors. You can make like little almost pixel art with it. I still have that. Haven't used it since, but I do still have that, and it did make a really cool. It did make kind of a cool thing, even though I didn't put the chocolate in, and kind of playing around with it. But I do still have that because it's a nice, fun activity for later. For those people that have missed, the other ones, I don't know if there was supposed to be any kind of toy in here. And as we all know, I have missed toys before. But it don't matter because these are freaking delicious. These are great. That chocolate bar is looking really kind of tempting, but that's definitely a for later type of deal. So, well, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully it survives editing and goes up. But yeah, thanks for checking this out. Seriously, if you want awesome stuff, awesome food stuff for you and yours, seriously, always gotta recommend Japan Crate. They do some banging crates. Even the ones that have unfortunately been the ones that I couldn't put up because they were plagued by audio and video issues. Even in those, fantastic candies. Go out, show them some love. They are seriously awesome. Check you guys later. I'm going to eat more of these. I'm going to grab my coffee and put it up front. Peace.